Okay, welcome. It's like, I've touched my face.
That's fine.
Okay. Welcome back to the Split Decision podcast. This is going to be like the actual first episode, hopefully.
Yeah.
That we get out.
Fingers crossed.
So previously we've been trying to sort of, it's all learning curves, isn't it?
Yeah. It's part of the process, really. It is what it is.
Yeah, so the plan is that we'll get the full podcast out all in one, and then obviously we'll clip up the parts that you want to know about. So we're going to start over the predictions. We've got Blanchfield versus Maycee Barber. This could sort of be the next. Well, I think Zhang Weili should go up and fight Shevchenko, but this should be sort of a number one contender fight for the Shevchenko fight. So, and we've actually got.
We got some decent fights on there.
Yeah, this is a lot better than the card this weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't say a lot better, but like.
No, it fucking hell, mate, it is like
5% better.
There's actually one fight in the prelims I want to cover. I put him in my top 10 underrated list. Mm-hmm. So we've got Oban Elliott versus Brahim Aj. And like once again, underrated. Like why is he near the bottom of the prelims?
Yeah, I don't get that.
I think it's because he's Welsh, to be honest.
Yeah, he's fighting the Apex. Yeah, in the Apex.
Is this the Apex again?
It has to be. I mean, have you seen it? Blanchfield versus. It has to be in the Apex.
What, 2 Apex cards in a row? Do you think it would just be a fight night in a night in a?
I don't think
it is,
so.
yeah, 2 Apex cards in a row, which is always fun.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate the Apex.
Which is always fun.
Tapology obviously doesn't underrate Elliott because 98% have got him winning.
Yeah. Against Brahim Aj, who is sort of a slow stationary target for Oban, basically.
I think Oban can get a finish here. Like he's a bit of a decision fighter so far.
He's got one really good KO though against the wrestler. What's his name?
But I think you find when a lot of the fighters first come into the UFC.
Yeah.
Especially from like a UK scene. Like he's only had three knockouts in his whole career, 3 submissions.
Yeah.
So he's 50-50 on whether he gets to finish or not. But I think you find Hafez, he knocked out.
Hafez, yeah.
But I think you find when a lot of these fighters first come into the UFC, they start to go and turn into decision fight.
I think a lot of these guys sort of try and play it safe.
Yeah.
Same with Carlos Ulberg as well.
Larone's a bit of one of them.
Larone, there's a lot of guys that sort of turn into that.
Yeah, and I don't know whether it's because of the level of caliber fighter in the UFC compared to outside of it, or what's the point of risking it if you're ahead on a fight?
I think it's the second one, but you can just tell by the way they fight and the decisions they make in the fight. It's purposely done. Like they could push a bit more, but they're purposely done because I know they're winning.
Yeah.
And I know they could win without taking too much damage.
The smarter fighters.
Exactly. That's where it sort of transitions from, like, that into a sport, because from like fighting into an actual sport with tactics and sort of how do I take the least amount of damage, and that's part of the evolution of MMA.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, that's sort of part of it.
It's sort of how it's always going now. Like. Yeah. It's very rare you get a fighter, say like a Holloway who is winning like the Gaethje fight and then he thinks, fuck it, let's try and knock him out.
Yeah.
It's very rare you get that, but for Holloway, that doesn't matter because he's already a star, so he can take them risks. But these up and coming fighters, they get a loss, that sets them right back to the bottom. Like they need to get ranked and then they can start fighting like that.
Yeah.
Being a bit more out there. But yeah, I'd love to see Oban get a finish in this. Big fan of him. Fellow British man, even though he's Welsh.
Yeah.
We don't normally like the Welsh, but we'll support Oban.
I had no idea. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so like in the UK, like we fucking
the Welsh.
If you're English, you don't like. Are you from Manchester? You don't like Scousers.
What's the biggest group you don't like? Like, is it the Scots or
Scousers, mate?
The Scousers.
But like that's because I'm from Manchester. But then, if you like the English, don't like the Welsh, and we don't like the Scottish. No.
Okay.
It's just sort of like biased rivalry.
It's a bit of competitive edge.
Yeah, like it's always the case. It's like Northerners and Southerners.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember during the Euros, that was it Wales, England, and then it was like a whole thing. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so how it sort of works, to explain it, Manx hate Scouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Manx and Scouse hate Southerners.
Yeah, I was going to go on to that, yeah.
But then Southerners and Northerners don't like the Scottish, the Welsh and the Irish.
Yeah.
And then it'll keep going from there and there and there. Yeah. And that's just because like He's also like football based and bias, but like
rugby as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Football, rugby. Yeah. There's always like.
But I'll always support a Welshman against any foreigner.
Of course.
So, I'll go. You know what? I'll give him a knockout. I'll give Oban a knockout. You know.
Yeah.
That's probably more I want to see that than it'll actually happen. But Oban's cool, man. The Welsh gangster.
Yeah, he's really exciting, I think. And he's well-rounded as well, so he doesn't have to worry about his grappling, his striking. Against what's his name, Brahimash?
Yeah,
I've watched him fight twice. He's very stiff, he's very slow, a bit sloppy with his punches, throws wild overhands. I think it should be an easy win for Oban. Obviously, you never know, but it should be. So yeah, I think KO, TKO probably for Elliot.
Other fights I won't mind going over.
I can't pull mine up, so you have to...
Coleman, you got Gamrot, Ludovic Klein.
Yeah.
Ludovic Klein's on his way up at the bit of the minute. This is a massive jump though.
Yeah. Man, Ludovic Klein is so exciting. Like, he's got that fast twitch muscle fibers, like the way he throws his kicks, his punches. He's very Jose Aldo-like. I always say it, like the Slovakian Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
With a little bit less output, I would say. Unless you compare him to the Jose Aldo now. But
no, Jose Aldo in his prime, I get what you're saying.
Prime Jose Aldo, yeah. It kind of reminds me of him, obviously with less output, but still very solid. So against Gamrot, who's a good wrestler, obviously, so it's going to be interesting to
Gamrot's
see.
just game for me, man.
He's game, innit? Like, yeah.
But the only time I've really doubted him is when he lost to Dariush.
Yeah.
That was like so out of the blue for me because I really rated Gamrot. And that Dariush that day was stepped up massively. But Gamrot's just such a... he lost a hooker, didn't he?
Yeah.
But Gamrot's such a...
Split decision, though. It was a close one.
I know, but like Dan Hooker's doing a lot better, but I weren't rating him at that point. But to me, Gamrot is such a steady fighter.
Yeah. Like,
very similar to like a... we spoke about a better version, but like a Marc-Andre Barrios. Like, they're just solid fighters.
Yeah.
A much better version than that.
A bit higher in the rankings.
Yeah, much better, but like he's not done it in the top stage really.
Yeah, because you've got that. It's a killer division, isn't it? Lightweight, and he's sort of right below it. I feel like
he lost to Kutsagaladze. He lost to Guram, and Guram's gone shit, mate.
Guram, yeah.
But I thought Guram was really good.
I thought Guram was going to be a champion one day.
I thought Guram was sick.
Like 2 years ago, I would have said Guram's going to be the next champ.
Even Gamrot's wins haven't aged well. So like he beat Jarlin Turner, he's now retired.
Yeah, but back then he was on the come up.
No, but then he beat Fiziev. Fiziv's just losing all the time, but Fiziv's really good. Yeah. And then he beat Dos Anjos, but this is a Dos Anjos who's so past it.
I know what you're saying, but I think I started rating him when he beat Jeremy Stephens. Like that was the first.
I thought you don't like Jeremy Stephens.
Exactly. So he beat Jeremy Stephens. I was like, whoa. I was like, this guy is serious. You know what I mean? He beat him by ground and pound as well.
He beat Arman though, didn't he as well?
He beat Arman?
Gamrot beat Arman.
Gamrot beat Arman?
Yeah. Gamrot beat Arman.
What the fuck?
Did you not know that? And thingy, like, you know what I don't like? I don't like that Klein took Roberts to a decision. Isn't Roosevelt Roberts the one who got spinning hook kicked?
Oh yeah.
I'm just not a fan of that.
He's supposed by your boy Bahamondes.
Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, no, like Gamrot beat Arman.
What the hell?
Gamrot's good, man. I think Gamrot's probably too much for Klein. I don't think he gets caught.
I'm watching that fight again later when I got some time.
Yeah, so I don't think... do you not remember that? Is that like not in your brain at all?
Nah, I've got so much shit. I mean, so much shit that I forget because there's so much going on in the MMA world. Like, but yeah, you're right. He beat him. Impressive, huh? Honestly.
Has that surprised you, that one?
It surprised me because Arman and Islam was quite competitive.
Sorry, we're going to have to do a lot of editing here. When the fuck did Ludovic Klein beat Bahamondes?
Fuck me.
What the fuck?
When did that happen?
23.
Was it by a decision or?
Yeah, he's a bit of a decision fighter, this Aldo of yours.
Where were we?
I don't know who I'm going to pick in this. Because one's beat Arman.
Yeah.
And then he's his wins after that have been very...
That's such a
have
big
aged
win.
well, but obviously it's Arman. Even back then, Arman took Makhachev to a split decision, didn't he?
And it was close. They were chain wrestling the whole time. So.
And then the others beat Bahamondes, and then I don't like his other wins.
Yeah.
And I love Bahamondes.
I know you do, yeah.
But I think I'll always go wrestler over a striker.
I'm gonna pick Gamrot as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
Should I go the other way?
Against Klein. Yeah, I mean.
No, I like both of these.
Who do you think is gonna win? You know what I mean? I think Gamrot's gonna get him like.
I think Gamrot's gonna win. I don't like his Dariush loss. But besides that, and I don't like how his wins have aged. But he's been fighting the better competition for a lot longer. He is a bit of a vet.
Gamrot is really good at. So he's not a chain wrestler at all, but he's really good at holding someone on the ground and keeping them there. I've noticed that as well. And he's just solid, man. He's a solid grappler.
Ludovic's good though, man.
Ludovic's good,
fucking
but
beat Bahamondes,
is he gonna keep him off? You know, he's mainly a striker. You know what I mean? Is he gonna be able to stand with?
I can just see it being a boring 3-rounder.
It probably will be.
Gamrot keeps the position, lands unanimous strikes that aren't unanimous. Yeah, I'll go Gamrot by decision.
Same, Gamrot decision.
Boring fight.
Yeah.
He'll get booed. And
this Apex, so there's no one in there.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll take a lot of stock away from Thingy either.
He's gonna get booed by the UFC employees probably.
Yeah,
watching.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take a lot of stock away from Ludovic Klein. It's not a bad loss. And then so both going Gamrot by decision. We're both going Oban. I'm going KO. You're going TKO.
Yeah.
And then main event. Battle of sort of the future of the division. They're both young.
Yeah, Erin Blanchfield.
They're still up and coming.
Barber. Yeah.
But Blanchfield's been there. She's one win away.
She's so good, you know, like.
Yeah, so you're Blanchfield versus Barber.
Yeah.
To me, I think it's unfortunately like women's MMA doesn't have sort of like the finishing factor like men's does. So.
But Blanchfield's got a few finishes, submissions, and all that. I think.
But so I think Blanchfield's going to win. So what I mean by that is. I don't think Barber can just pull it out of the bag last minute.
Yeah.
Like in men's MMA, Ludovic could, say, score a knockout in them later rounds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if he's lost the first two. In women's MMA, we don't really ever see that.
Yeah.
I find women's MMA very predictable.
Predictable and a bit unseasoned at times as well.
Yeah.
A bit.
And I just think Blanchard's losing to Fiorot. She beat Rose. She'd probably lose to Shevchenko. But besides that, there's not really many.
Yeah, I agree.
So to me, it's just going to be like a... Does she get the submission?
I mean, I'm just looking at Blanchfield's record right now, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, she's beat, obviously, Rose, like you said, Tyler Santos, Jessica Andrade.
I thought Tyler Santos beat Shevchenko that time.
I didn't think so.
Did you know I did?
I think it was a split decision, exactly as... But yeah, I know a lot of people... She lost against Fiorot, but no shame in losing against Fiorot.
Fiorot did really well.
She did really well.
And then after that, it's pretty like she beat an aging Andrade who everyone beats. Everyone submits her.
That was 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago, Andrade was still sort of okay.
Yeah, but everyone's submitting her, aren't they?
Yeah.
To me, she just gets a 49-46 decision, 50-45 decision. Unfortunately, I like Maycee Barber though. As far as women's MMA goes,
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I mean, it's not that bold, I guess. Submission. I think she submits Maycee Barber.
Later rounds.
She's got some quick submissions. Yeah, third round, I think, or later rounds anyway. I think so. I think she's gonna be a finish, and that's how she makes a statement as well. She needs to finish.
Do you think? I think no matter if she wins this, if it's not Zhang Weili, I think it's got to be Blanchfield next for the title.
But just to get eyeballs on her, I think she needs a finish, especially this last one.
I don't think women's MMA needs eyeballs. I think it needs less. I think
it needs less.
Yo, I'm fucking sick of it. It's shit, man.
We're clipping
and
this.
It's not even being like biased towards them. They don't finish each other. Even that Shevchenko fight, it's fucking...
Yeah.
it weren't boring, but
yeah, it was just, you know, there wasn't going to be a finish, basically.
yeah, I can't like.
The only slightly exciting women's fight that there was last weekend was the Natalie Silva one. I think she was respectably exciting, let's say.
I find Zhang Weili exciting, and her last fight was against the other Chinese girl, weren't it?
Yeah.
And that was exciting, but like, look at Dakota in PFL.
She's exciting, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I want to see from women's MMA.
Yeah.
And they can't say they don't have power, but she's someone who's finishing at everything.
Yeah.
Like, she finished Talia Santos. No one's ever finished the girl before.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's so impressive. And like, so they've got it in them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of these MMA fighters, they get in the UFC. Like, so like a Poliana Viana, she gets in the UFC, and she just does it to start another career.
Yeah.
Like, to get known, and same with Paige Van Zandt.
They're not making any money in the UFC.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I mean. So then they'll do it to get in, and then start another career, and they'll go do bare knuckle in their underwear. Do you know what I mean?
And the girls that do get some recognition are usually the ones that are good looking, right? But then their fights are so boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's never balanced. You never have like, good looking girl, good fighter. It's usually like good looking girl, mediocre fighter.
Mate, I'm not being funny, yeah. The most lesbian looking fighters
Yeah.
are the best.
You know.
Look at Nunes.
Yeah, you know what I find really exciting? Maycee Barber, like.
Yeah.
Like, her boxing is really good, but.
No, but like if you was to bet, if you said, right, you bet on the most dyke fighters for a year.
Yeah.
You would be up money.
Yeah. If you don't think with your dick, just think with your brain, innit? And you will literally like, you'll get most of these bets done. Yeah, like.
And like, you know what? I'd say what's proof that the women's MMA is so much lower quality, and the gap between the best and the up and comers is so big.
Yeah.
We never get changes in the title.
Yeah.
Shevchenko's beat everyone. Nunes beat everyone. Zhang Weili's now beating everyone, and it's because the gap in quality. And Dakota, when she comes over, she will beat everyone. Mm. The gap is so different compared to men's. Like, every man's fight in MMA is close. We're always getting new champions.
Yeah.
Like, every year it is a brand new roster of champions.
Yeah.
Women's, it's the same unless they retire.
I do have to mention that I remember watching Amanda versus Pena when she pulled off that win.
Yeah.
That was spectacular. I have to say that was one of those moments where you go like, okay, like, we're back in it now.
Yeah, but then look,
we're interested again.
And then look what happened.
She beat her again.
Then Nunes beat the fuck out of her.
Yeah, but that was one of ththose moments I was like, okay.
And you know what I think? I think Pena's going to lose to.
Who's she fighting?
She's fighting the big dive.
Oh, Kayla Harrison.
She's going to lose to Kayla Harrison.
Yeah.
And then Nunes is going to come back and she's going to smoke Kayla Harrison.
But that's a good fight.
No.
Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes.
But Nunes is going to smoke her. Nunes is going to beat the shit out of her. Very similar to how she beat Ronda, I think.
We'll go over that one as well, obviously, but that's happening. I mean,
that's a bit further away.
Yeah,
but
Harrison versus Fingy's happening.
But do you get what I mean about, like, Kayla Harrison's a wrestler, has had much adversity. She lost the title over there. She lost.
Yeah.
To the Brazilian girl.
Yeah.
Nunes will come in, Nunes don't give a shit. She'll just batter her.
Piece her up with them strikes.
Yeah, and then it's game range. Over. Like, and then we've got the same champions we had years ago.
But with Fingy as well, another moment was obviously Grasso and Shevchenko. When Grasso won against Shevchenko, but that was another moment. Don't you agree? That's another moment of excitement for the women's MMA. Like,
but then she caught her.
Yeah.
And then they rematch, and it was a draw. Should have been a draw.
Yeah.
Oh no, Shevchenko won.
She beat her after.
Then they did the trilogy. Shevchenko battered her.
Yeah.
And like, it's just how it is. Like.
But I'm saying there are moments, like, there is potential always.
Yeah, Rose had moments when she knocked out Joanna. Then Rose has got 2 wins over Zhang Weili.
Yeah, she head kicked her. And that was a moment as well.
Zhang Weili's never beat her.
Yeah. So I'm saying these moments exist. It's just not consistent with women's MMA. You know what I mean?
They fluke it.
Yeah. It's like, once we're on top, we'll be like, oh shit, that was crazy. And then the next fight gets beat in a rematch
just need
again.
To sort out, like, more women need to get into the sport young.
Yeah.
Like, the reason Dakota's smoking everyone is because she's done Muay Thai. Because her mum did Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And like So she's done it her whole life.
Exactly.
I think a lot of these people, like Molly McCann, she was in the UFC, yeah, but she started MMA.
Yeah.
At like in her 20s, I think it was.
And you can tell, like.
No, but I mean that's good enough to get in the UFC.
Yeah.
Whereas in the men's, if you've not started, look who's up and look at Topuria. He's been wrestling since he was a kid, and now he's smoking everyone.
Yeah.
And you can just tell the ones who are now starting from kids growing up. Like Paddy was so known before the UFC. Like when he was in Cage Warriors, I think we knew about him probably 7 years ago. In Cage Warriors.
We watched him in.
And it's because he's done it since he was a kid. If these fighters now aren't starting, then they're not getting in the UFC.
And if you notice as well, with any other sport, if you start when you're 20, it's too late. Way too late. Like football, rugby, tennis, I don't care. None of these sports you can start at age 20 and still become good. It's impossible.
Women's MMA though.
Women's MMA, you
start at 30.
Apparently you can, yeah.
So that's why the quality. Exactly. That's my argument with the quality. You need to sort the shit out.
But I think we're getting there slowly. Because if the competition gets better, the fighters will get better as well. You just need more good top 5 competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ronda brought a lot of eyes onto it, obviously.
Yeah.
I think Rose did, and I think Dakota will. You know what I think you need? I think you need a good-looking champion. And that's not being sexist or anything.
Because it's a men's dominated world, innit, MMA.
And
all men are watching this sport mainly. That's just how it is.
But kids need to grow up and idolise these people.
Yeah.
And no offence to them, but when you look at Amanda Nunes and she looks like a bloke in makeup,
your broad shoulders.
The average girl isn't going to see that and think, oh, that's what I want to be. So you need you need a superstar, and Ronda was alright looking.
She was one of the first ones, really.
Yeah, but a Dakota is a normal looking girl.
Yeah.
Who be smoking people, and that's what you need to transition the sport, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. I mean, when it happens, we'll talk about it. But I think she needs to sign with the UFC ASAP.
Yeah,
I think what she's still doing in the PFL, she literally ran out of competition now, innit?
Yeah, she ran out of competition. She beat Talia Santos. Talia Santos was arguably beat Shevchenko.
Isn't she fighting another girl now in the PFL soon? Dakota.
Well, you don't defend the title in PFL.
Yeah.
Do you know, they don't do that.
You don't
so
do
they
that.
They restart the tournament. There's no title defenses.
It's a weird system.
Other than Ngannou.
Yeah. Ngannou privilege.
Yeah, so it's a weird one. But yeah, we need a Dakota or...
Do you think... Because obviously the UFC has... They always say the UFC has the best talent, the best fighters in the world. But do you agree when it comes to women's MMA?
I just think Dakota's the best in the world.
Yeah, but you think there's girls out there that are higher level than some of the UFC
I think
females.
There's a lot in one championship, but I don't know if I'm basing that off Muay Thai. I think the one championship strikers...
Even then, because if you've got good Muay Thai, you can still beat half of the roster in the UFC.
Yeah.
Because the level is so low.
So if I'm thinking about a Stamp Fairtex as an example.
She's a killer, isn't she?
Yeah, a lot of them Muay Thai fighters, even though they don't do MMA, you could just come over and smoke them. Like Dakota, she has got grappling to her, she's got a grappling background, and she has got submissions on a record. I went watching her and she got she got a submission. But she's a Muay Thai fighter and she's just smoking these girls and they're giving up. They don't have that dog in them. There's not many like the who was Zhang Wei Li's last fight, the Chinese girl, Yang Zhaonan.
Yeah.
She had that dog in her. Was going for it. She went for adversity. Rose is another one. Joanna's another one for me. Zhang Wei Li. Joanna was sort of the peak of the sport for me. When I was so into women's MMA when it was her because she was sick. But
I forgot about her. Yeah, she was sick.
Yeah, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. It's insane how good she was, and the fights were aggressive. They were, and we need that. We need
high. It was high level.
We need high level striking in women's MMA.
Yeah.
Wrestling, the wrestling part is boring because that's the way they can only finish each other. Women's MMA, you don't get knockouts, you get submissions. But Joanna was smoking girls. She didn't always get the submission. She didn't always get the finish.
But it was always
she beat the fuck out of them. And a lot of these girls from one, if they came over, they'd smoke a lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't agree that they have the highest level of women fighters.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying as well. I don't think they do. I think they're
I think PFL with Dakota's got the best in the world.
Yeah.
I think they've then got the champions are really good in the UFC.
Yeah.
But the roster, I'd give it to one.
But there's also a lot of like Brazilian girls in the UFC that are sort of like on the same level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's so many. Like I can't find any names now.
Look, you had Natia Silva the other week.
Yeah. Like the girl I said last time, Lipsky, but then you got the girl that was dating Colby Covington. What's her name?
You got Baby Shark.
Yeah, her, all Brazilians, but they sort of fight in a similar style.
But none of them get past that.
Amanda Lemos.
Lesbos.
Amanda Lemos. You know, like Jandy Roba.
And if you notice as well, women's MMA champions end up fighting rank 9.
Yeah.
Like Aldana, when she fought for the title, was like 7.
I used to rate Aldana, you know. Her striking used to be good, like long punches, snappy.
But like, what other division is rank 9, rank 7 getting title shots?
Maybe
other than
flyweights.
Pantoja.
Yeah, flyweight.
And that comes back to like their weight. They don't have knockout power like the higher divisions do. So yeah, to recap that, women's MMA needs to sort this shit out.
Yeah.
Because I'm bored of watching this shit.
Yeah, it has to be said. But you know, I think if Dakota comes over, it's gonna change everything.
Dakota's gonna smoke them all, and then we'll get some real talent.
Yeah, yeah.
So now we've got the Apex cards out the way for the next 2 weeks, like just boring fight cards. So we just thought we'd quickly go over them.
Yeah.
We've got a recap this weekend just gone. So actually, for a bad fight card, in my opinion, it was quite exciting.
It was quite good. Yeah, I think it was quite eventful. What was your favourite fight on that card?
It's the main event.
Yeah, obviously.
It's got to be the main event. Like
yeah.
I was surprised by how dominant he was.
Yeah. And
it was a scrap, and I think it won a lot of the fans over.
Yeah, I called it as well. I think it was, but I thought he was gonna finish him, but it was good. And we also saw Bilal's chin being tested a few times.
Yeah, I think Bilal won the fans over. Like, to me, Bilal's always been a boring fighter, but he gets the job done. But he went out, he scrapped, man.
Yeah.
And he landed on JDM as well. Like,
he landed.
Like, look at JDM's face at the end of it. And I actually had it going 2-2 into the last round. I know you didn't, and the judges did as well. And Bilal could have took that fight, but JDM just stepped it up, man. Like, JDM wanted it more. He had the power advantage. He was slicker, and he overwhelmed Bilal. Like, his boxing pressure is outstanding, man. He didn't give him a second.
He's got that dog in him.
Yeah.
And you know he's got that dog in him because he purposely didn't fix his nose. Like, you just know he's on it. He doesn't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's one of those fighters that will come forward. He's got good cardio as well. I think his cardio is really underrated.
Bro, I was so impressed, you know. I did not. So I just thought Bilal would be very similar to Leon Edwards' fight. Just take him down, overwhelm him. Mate, JDM didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He stopped those takedowns, yeah. He was landing to the body, landing to the head.
Beautiful.
You know what I love as well? I love how he throws like 4 with his left.
Yeah.
Before moving to his right, like
bam, bam, yeah.
Like, he doesn't throw 1-2s. Like, it'd be like 1-1-1, 2-2-1, and it threw Bilal off so much. But he'd go like jab, body, head, throw the uppercut. Like, it was so good. Like
he throws that left hook to the body, and then obviously Bilal moves away, right? Trying to get out of the way, and then he throws another one to the head, and then another one to the body.
Yeah, rather than going with his right.
Who does that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mate, no one does it. He's he won me over, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I like Jack Della Maddalena, and I wanted him to win. For him, I didn't want him to win because of what's now happened.
Yeah.
I wanted Bilal to win, and we did a post about that. But
yeah,
I think JDM was going to become a new fan favourite. And I see him holding that title, and I said the same about Bilal. I do this every time,
yeah. Yeah.
But if you can do that to Bilal, to me, you can do it to Brady, you can do it to Shavkat. I think his striking hurts Shavkat, and I think Bilal's wrestling's better than Shavkat's.
Mm-hmm.
I think he does it to Gary. I think he does it to Edwards. I think he does it to them all. I think JDM is just game, man.
Yeah, I think that's a.
It reminds me of a Diaz brother, you know, the way like his volume.
A little bit, yeah. Even the speed sort of similar as well.
More Nick than Nate, but like his volume and mixing it up.
Yeah.
He's sick. He's so sick.
No, you're right. He does remind me of a Diaz brother, but the Diaz brothers had no foot movement, nothing like that. He actually got, you know, quite like good foot movement, and
he's slick.
He knows where to plant his feet. Everything he does is sort of, it reminds me a bit of Topuria actually, like a bigger Topuria.
You can't even land on him against the cage. Like when Jack had his back against the cage, like his movement and his countering, like Bilal was landing on him, but he'd take it and then Jack would land 3.
Yeah.
With his back against the cage. It's so impressive, man.
Can we talk about this? No one talks about this, but his sort of his shoulder mobility. Because how have you noticed?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we're PTs and stuff, but like his shoulder mobility is so good. The way he lands these shots with ease. You know what I mean? I
just think he's got really good, like his flow states really well, and every shot is to line up his next shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he doesn't have to wind anything up because he pivots full. He pivots with his waist. His punches fully extend.
Yeah.
Like he's just so slick and fluent.
It's so fluid, and it's not even got a crazy reach, so that makes it even more impressive. You just throw it all from the hips, just straight from the shoulder.
The fact as well he didn't finish Bilal is more impressive.
Yeah.
Because he went the 5 rounds against a game Bilal, man. Like Bilal's still really good.
Respect for Bilal. Yeah, he did well.
And he took him to deep waters.
Yeah.
So now JDM's the man. Coleman, Shevchenko, Fiorot. Oh, can I just say as well, I got 7 right out of our 10. You got 6.
Yeah, so good job.
I've took the predictions this week.
I bottled it on Fiorot. I shouldn't have never. I just thought she was gonna. I didn't keep in consideration that she doesn't have that much power. If she had a little bit more power,
it's women's MMA though, mate.
I know she would have done a bit more damage.
In women's MMA, I'll always go for the vet.
Should have gone for Shevchenko.
But you got the main event right. I think I got one more prediction right, but the main event's what counts.
Yeah, it was good either way.
Yeah.
I think.
But yeah, the Shevchenko fight, I thought she'd get the finish. I thought she'd use her takedown a lot more. I think Fiorot was a lot stronger than I thought she would be.
Yeah.
I don't know why, like looking at the size of her, but I just thought she's a lot more of a striker than she's a wrestler, and Shevchenko's such a veteran. But Shevchenko does what she always does, like takes it into deep waters, takes the fight where she wants to, gets the decision just comfortably, never really out of the fight hurt. Like I really liked her how she was countering the kick. She was countering the kick. Was it with like a lead jab?
Yeah, I think it was
lead
she
jab,
just stepped
hook.
into it. So obviously because Fiorot has got them side kicks.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about side kicks is it always lands when it lands, but then when you miss, you literally inside range.
Yeah.
So that's easy to get countered.
Well, that's how Grasso finished Shevchenko that time.
Exactly.
The spinning back kick.
If you just rotate your body, it just flies past you, and you're literally within range.
Yeah.
That's what she did basically. So a good game plan. And then also, Fiorot broke her nose as well in the first round.
Yeah, you think that was a massive factor into it. I
think it was. I don't think she's ever been in that. You know, because she comes from a traditional martial arts background.
Yeah.
They don't really spar like that. They don't really, you know what I mean? MMA is like a whole different level.
Yeah, it is. You are right.
So I think she was a bit, in that regard, a bit inexperienced.
She just looked in a lot of pain to me. Like
she was like visibly as well.
Yeah, like she was quivering, especially in the clinch and that. Like she just looked. Fiorot looked upset the whole fight.
She kind of looks like that rich kid that grew up just doing karate and then just stumbled up like into MMA.
Armin.
Yeah,
Armin.
Like like she's not supposed to be in MMA. You know what I mean? Just stumbled across it and like. Now she's getting her nose.
She's like
broke.
only 12 and 2. Like we just spoke about a lot of women's MMA. It's pissing us off, but yeah. Shevchenko does it again. We were saying we want to see a Zhang Weili step up.
Yeah.
Or you do like Natalia Silva was the winner of the fight night in 2 weeks. But it's just women's MMA, man. Like it's the same old shit. Disappointing fight. Zahabi Aldo.
Yeah, we don't need to spend too much time on that, but I like to mention that I think Jose Aldo had it in the back and then somehow he gassed out.
But imagine,
he dropped him.
It would have been like how Robbie Lawler went out.
Yeah.
If he'd have volleyed him, knocked him out.
Yeah.
And retired that way, it would have been class.
But he heard him before that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He dropped him before that and then he threw that kick, like you said.
What a way it would have been to go out.
Yeah.
And I like seeing the viciousness is still there, like the killer of Aldo, like what you've seen of old.
But I think it's his cardio, because he's so fast twitch. Obviously, it's gonna take a lot of energy, and he knows that. So he's throwing less volume. He's throwing less volume, and the age is catching up. And
Zahabi, in Aldo's prime, doesn't do a thing.
Yeah,
and it pisses me off.
He would get finished in the first round.
But yeah, legend. third best ever at his weight class at featherweight.
Yeah, one of the GOATs at featherweight.
But one of the GOATs of the sport. Yeah, good career. Should never come out of retirement.
Yeah. It annoys me because when you look at Zahabi, the way he fights, the way he stands, he's not a fighter. He's not built to be a fighter.
I just don't like him.
It's because his brother is one of the best coaches in the world that he was able to get to this level. And it's just a matchup that never should have been made. You know what I mean? In my opinion.
I'd rather just seen Aldo go out against a higher ranked fighter.
Yeah.
Just give him, like, it's Jose Aldo, man. Why are we giving him Zahabi? Like, and he's lost now. No one's happy about it. People dislike Zahabi because he's beat him.
Yeah.
So just what's the point?
Exactly, I agree. So yeah.
You got Natalie Silva, Alexa Grasso.
Yeah.
Very impressive win by Natalie Silva, and I always find it weird. And we've just seen it with Leon Edwards and Sean Brady. People lose the title and then get dominated.
Yeah.
Like, really impressive. Like, Natalie Silva, she was a fight earlier. Sean Brady, who was a fight earlier, is world champion right now. And I find it so hard to sort of process that.
Can I just say how impressive Natalie Silva looked? Her, like, in and out, just not in and out movement, but her, like, switching it up, moving away from the shots. She was literally avoiding every shot that Grasso was throwing at her.
Grasso was never in the fight.
But she couldn't get into the fight because of Silva. She was light on her feet. She was doing them spinning back kicks. I think 3 of them landed, out of the way. And throughout the whole, was it 3 rounds?
Yeah, it was 3 rounds, yeah.
The same pace, same intensity.
Just a really impressive, dominant win against the former champion.
Yeah, she looked really good. And she was undersized as well, you have to remember.
How do you think she matches up against Shevchenko? I think she beats a Blanchfield, Natalie Silva.
I think she beats Blanchfield. I think similar way as well. Against Shevchenko, though, it's going to be tough.
It's just like, how do we pick against her? Do you know what I mean?
I think you can pick against Shevchenko, especially not after what happened. So
yeah, it's like we just spent about 10 minutes on this before and the earlier in the podcast.
Yeah,
we'll have to see that when it gets matched up. If it gets matched up,
the only problem is with the girls is that although the technique is good, they don't have power. So someone like Shevchenko doesn't have to worry about getting knocked out or anything like that because you know that Natalie Silva, she's got volume, she's got kicks, no power to finish. So Shevchenko will always win that decision if it comes down to, like, similar to Fiorot as well.
Yeah, and you'll find when
there's no threat of a KO basically.
You'll find when there is a striker like that, like a Nunes, they'll have a lot of success.
Yeah,
because they're just not used to getting hit.
Exactly.
Like that. But it's just levels to the game, man. And Grasso ain't it, obviously. As much as she won the championship from a fight she was losing.
Yeah. She
got the submission. Clever game plan, like she did game plan.
It was a mistake though from Shevchenko.
But there is footage of Grasso drilling that counter to spinning back kick. So she caught that. She then lost the belt, and then in the trilogy she got outclassed again. So it's just one of them. Very similar to a Pena. I know Pena's champion now, but very similar to a Pena where they won the title, they lose it instantly, and now she's going to get smoked by the blonde girl from PFL.
Kayla Harrison. Yeah.
We're just going to go over Benoit Saint Denis, Kyle
Prepolek. It was a late minute replacement, so was it 5 days notice for Prepolek?
I don't care how dominant BSD looked. The guy's shit. He's slow, man.
He's very slow, and he leaves his defense open. Like he's there to be hit.
Do you know
basically.
How lucky he is? Joel Alvarez got injured.
Yeah, I think he would have pieced him up. To be
like fair. I picked Poirier against him.
You know what annoys me as well. Now BSD got this win. Everyone's back on sort of the bandwagon, but he literally won against a guy that was out of the UFC, then came back hasn't beat any good top talent, and now he beats unknown Canadian guy, and now I feel like they're gonna hype him up again. They're gonna put him on probably some Paris card in the main event again. You know what I mean?
But like to me, BSD loses to Fiziev, loses to Bahamondes, loses to Joel Alvarez, he loses to Paddy, he loses to everyone in that top 10. He's only lost to Moicano. Dan Hooker fucks him up. I'd give him like a hooker, you know.
Oh, he would piece him up so bad.
And just let Hooker smoke him. He's just so overrated. He had a good run. Even when he's the one who threw that head kick, didn't he?
Yeah.
And knocked out the ginger lad.
Yeah.
Mate, that was the slowest head kick as he was running away.
And the ginger lad, what's his name again? He was moving away, hands down.
Yeah, like
moving away like that.
It wasn't impressive. It was shocking, man.
Yeah.
And then and he was dominant at first against Poirier.
However, one of his wins, I think he beat Thiago Moises, which is probably one of his best wins, I think.
But no, like, and he looked like he dominated Poirier, but he didn't get the finish in two.
But I said that last time though. Everyone was like, oh, he did so well against Poirier. I was like, no, he didn't. He took him down, but you know how long it took him to take him down?
Do you know who Benoit Saint Denis is? He's the new Michael Chandler.
It might be.
Yeah, like he'll be a guy he's exciting to watch.
Kind of right.
He's exciting to watch. He'll finish and smoke the lower fighters.
Like a bit of a meathead. So goes in there, no fight IQ.
Yeah.
And
he's going to get smoked by the top guys, but he's always going to be around. He's always going to get title fights. He's always going to get.
And he's never going to give up. That's the type of he's going to start bleeding everywhere. He doesn't give a fuck. Just keep scoring.
Yeah. Give BSD Michael Chandler. Yeah. Mate, that's what I want to see.
We need to clip this shit.
Yeah, battle of the
meatheads.
Yeah. That is such a good matchup.
Bro, they're so similar as well. They're built similar.
Mate, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
And you know who I'd pick? Fucking Michael Chandler.
I'll pick BSD though, right? Because just because of the age, I would pick BSD.
How old is BSD? BSD's old, isn't he?
He's prime. He's younger than me.
No, he's not.
He's from 96.
Benoit Saint Denis is...
He's from 1996.
He's 28, 29. No, he's not. He's been in the Marines, isn't he? Benoit Saint Denis is that young.
Bro, you want to bet?
Actually...
We'll bet a fiver.
I'm looking now, one sec. Actually, maybe he's got a bit of hope. He's got a bit more hope than Chandler.
He's from 1996. Yes, he's 28.
Fuck off.
He's 28.
Bro, people look old now, you know.
Yeah, it's the...
How old are you? 30?
I'm 29.
You're 29, I'm 27 this year.
Don't get out of yourself there. I'm still in my 20s.
I'm 27 this year, man.
Oh, he's still a millennial, basically.
Is Benoit Saint Denis that young?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah. He's had a rough paper round.
But he looks... How old is he?
I thought he was 35.
I thought he was I knew how old he was, so I don't know. I thought he was 32 maybe. If I wouldn't know him, I would say like 33, something like that.
The guy. Well, anyway, the guy's shit. Give him Chandler. Let them smack the fuck out of each other. Break some brain cells.
Yeah. Both speed each other up.
Yeah. Like make it like the one round fight of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that card. That's that card recapped.
Yeah.
It was a good card to be fair.
It was good though. It was very solid.
But unfortunately, because of how that card's gone, we didn't get the fights we want. But Dana smoked. To be fair, Dana's been on it. So because of that fight card, we've now 1 second. Let me just confirm.
Yeah. Make sure you pull up.
The guy's 29. How is he 29?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
That surprised me. That
same age as me.
So he's gonna be a bit of a Michael Chandler. He's gonna be around forever, and just get knocked out all the time. So anyway,
or he might finish one or two guys in spectacular fashion, just Michael Chandler did. But,
yeah,
it's so similar. You know, that head kick reminds me of Michael Chandler when he finished Tony Ferguson. Once in every 3 fights, he'll get a spectacular finish. They'll put him on a main card somewhere in fucking Paris.
I could see BSD beating a retirement fight Gaethje.
Yeah.
And then everyone rates.
They put him on a pedestal again. Oh shit, BSD.
And then he'll get smoked by Bahamondes.
But you know, so I've actually been I've been following all the UFC pages from all over the world, right? You got UFC, obviously the UFC Europe, the normal one, UFC Canada. And I follow UFC France as well.
Yeah.
And last time I was watching the comments, yeah. And I was just, because I speak a little bit of French, and they were all saying, oh, BSD is back. BSD should fight Gaethje. BSD should fight Gamrot. I'm like, bro, he's just biased. He's not that good.
That's the French for you as well, man.
Yes, that's French, yeah.
The French love their own, yeah, but
yeah,
they just don't know where it's at. Garn's shit. Garn lost to Volkov, he's shit. Fiorot's just lost, she's shit. Benoit Saint Denis, he's shit. And then after Charrier got smoked off Nathaniel Wood. Yeah. They're all shit.
We only have Imavov, which is alright. he's good.
And Imavov in even French.
Yeah, but they'll claim him though. When he's doing well, they'll claim him.
Yeah, like the French had to claim GSP.
Yeah.
To get like a a good fighter. The French fighters are all fraud checked. Fiorot's just been fraud checked.
Ngannou been fraud checked by Ngannou a long time ago.
Ngannou, then Jones.
Yeah. And
then he should have lost to Volkov. Volkov beat him.
Yeah.
Even Dana thought Volkov won. Benoit Saint Denis got fraud checked by Poirier. Got battered in his hometown against Moicano.
Moicano smashed him up, yeah.
Like, beat the fuck out of him. And Moicano broke his arm and he still beat the fuck out of him. And then, who was the other one? Charrier just got smoked off Nathaniel Wood.
Yeah, there you go.
So the French, stick to football.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
So, we're really happy for Jacko.
Yeah.
Like, the guy's sick. I mean, he's a big fan favourite. But unfortunately, because of that...
I hate it, man. Yeah.
We haven't got the title fight we wanted. We wanted to see Makhachev to Poirier. As the guru said, Topuria was the one to end the Dagestani dynasty.
Yeah, yeah.
But instead, JDM is going to do it.
Yeah. The
Western Australian boy is going to come in and he's going to smoke Islam.
From a land down under.
He's going to smoke.
He's going to smoke him.
That's what I think anyway. You disagree.
Well, I was thinking about this the last time, and I'm just thinking it might be a size thing. I think Makhachev might be a bit too undersized for JDM because
Makhachev
went
to a split decision.
Do you think he can
with
hold
a
him?
5'6" Volk?
Exactly. So you think he can hold down a big JDM?
Not at all. I think if Bilal couldn't,
he'll pop back up in it, and you'll piece him up.
And I think he's striking and his power. And Makhachev does get caught. Poirier was catching Makhachev. So to me,
he was
if JDM hits him like that, he's going to sleep.
Yeah, but
and Makhachev doesn't like being hurt. When Volk was hurting him, he was quivered up. He doesn't like it. He's not game.
Yeah.
Poirier was catching him. He didn't like it. JDM starts lighting him up. Yeah, he's gonna fold. He's not got it, man. He's not that guy.
I'm just trying to think from all angles. Obviously, how about when he gets him on the ground, like into a? Would it be considered a submission threat when JDM is on the ground and like when Makhachev takes his back, for example, you get into that position?
I don't know how well he survive if he gets him there. I just don't know if he will get him there.
Yeah.
I just don't think Makhachev will want anything to do on the feet with him. I don't know. Like I can't believe I'm betting against a Dagestani, but that JDM win is just changed my opinion.
Yeah.
Like he looks so fucking good, mate.
Because would you also say that? Because now watching that Bilal fight, would you say that it would be a similar fight, but obviously with a bit more skill level of Makhachev? Because a bit more skills than Bilal. But it would be a similar in the way the fight goes. It would be quite similar, don't you think?
I just don't know. I don't know if Makhachev can take the shots that Bilal was. Bilal's got that thick neck, like he's
a big head, innit?
Yeah, he's a big fucker. Makhachev he's big for that division, but I'm picking JDM in that fight.
But I think Islam's got better striking though than Bilal. That's the thing. A bit more smooth, a bit more slick.
I do, but I only think that will benefit Jack. I think Jack wants him to strike. And I think Jack's counters and in the pocket, I think he'll catch Makhachev and I think he'll hurt Makhachev.
Yeah, but because obviously I'm a Libra, I look at shit from all angles. But one thing as well, you think because JDM does get hit. Have you noticed he got hit against Bilal? Got hit against.
Yeah.
So his defense is okay. I mean, it's good, but he does get hit from time to time. You think when he gets hit, like maybe a head kick from Islam? You think he's gonna start trading with him?
I just think he'll pressure him. I don't know if he'll be able to get a head kick off. Like head kicks are very easy to throw.
Because he throws good head kicks in it.
Islam, yeah, but so it like you got to be throwing. You can't. It's hard to count with kicks. You've got to be in a neutral position, a bit like how Pereira landed on Yuri, or
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to throw when you're going forward and you've got that momentum. I think Jack's gonna take the fight to Islam. I think that's the only way for him to beat him. I think if Jack tries him and sort of goes at Islam's pace, and he goes, and so he not counters, but he throws at his pace and he lets him control where the fight goes, I think Islam will win that. But if JDM takes him to the deep waters, and puts it on him, I think Islam will be landing on JDM, but JDM will be landing free. And I think when he puts that on him, you're going to get a lot of panic takedowns from Islam. And if he can't land them, I think his confidence will slowly go away in that fight.
You know what's funny, because people are saying that he's avoiding Topuria, but now instead he gets a bigger version of Topuria, basically.
I think JDM's a harder fight for him than Topuria because of size.
Size, exactly. I think that's the thing.
I think Makhachev... Oh, this is going to age so badly. I think Makhachev loses either way to either of them.
I'm so conflicted right now because I'm just thinking of Makhachev's last fight against Moicano and how easily and how quickly he finished him. And I feel like that's something that could happen.
Moicano though, man.
I know, but Moicano is a black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt.
They're Russian, aren't they?
I know, but...
No, but I mean
potentially he could finish him in the first round, quick.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It could be one of those.
They're all so good, aren't they?
Yeah, it could be one of those. Because you're saying, you're talking about 3-4 rounds down the line, and yeah, fair enough. Jack could come back, he could KO him, but what if it's a first round thing? Takes his back quickly, bam, chokes him out.
I think Jack could hurt him straight away, you know.
I don't know.
Oh, it's worrying, man.
It's a tough one.
I just think, either could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm betting against Makhachev.
But we're still doing a breakdown of this anyway, right? When the fight comes closer.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get a bit more evidence nearer to the time. Yeah. But that took away because Jack won, we've now got Makhachev, and that's took away the fight we wanted, which was Makhachev Topuria. But I still think we will see this fight in the future because now we have Oliveira, one of my favourite fighters of all time, against Topuria, who is becoming one of my favourite fighters of all time.
You know, in the beginning I wasn't that excited about it, but now I'm sort of okay, this is a good fight. It's a good fight.
Unfortunately though, I think it's another legend of the sport, another one of the GOATs at that division. Topuria is just going to kill him.
Yeah.
Oliveira gets hit too much for me. His striking's good and his power's good. I think he can hit. I think he can also catch Topuria. But if them two are in an exchange and they're both throwing, I'm sorry, I think Topuria's going to sleep him.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, obviously, Charles been dropped many times by Poirier, by Gaethje, even by Chandler. So we've seen Charles get dropped many times, and that's what worries me. On the other hand, to give him sort of benefit of the doubt, his striking has really improved a lot.
Who Charles is?
Charles' striking is
Who was his last win he did really well against?
Against Chandler, your boy, Michael Chandler.
Yeah, and he had a really good fight against Dariush as well, didn't he?
Yeah, but watch his striking against Chandler. It was really good. It was so snappy. It was just smooth.
I think his wrestling's really good as well. You know? His grappling.
So you can't underestimate Oliveira. I think he's got it all together. He's got the grappling. He's got the striking. You can never underestimate someone like him. Someone that's able to put it all together. That being said, Topuria by KO. So
do you know why I'm really conflicted? So Charles is one of my favourite fighters ever, and I'd love to see Charles win the belt again. But Charles is never going to beat Makhachev. And I want these fucking Russian grapplers.
Say it as it is, man.
Yeah. I want these fucking Russian grapplers out of my sport, man. They do me head in. And they do me head in because they're so good.
Yeah.
But Ankalaev... Ankalaev, Chimaev. I like Merab. Merab can stay.
He's Georgian, innit?
And he beat Umar, so he's beat one of them.
The Georgians can stay, in my opinion.
One of them's
I
gone.
like the Georgians.
But Ankalaev, Hamzat Chimaev, Bilal's gone, JDM's got rid of one, and Makhachev can go. So unfortunately, we've got to sacrifice Oliveira.
Yeah.
We've got to sacrifice him for the greater good of MMA. Yeah. We've then got to So Olivier gets sparked out, Topuria champion.
Yeah.
We need Makhachev to either win
Yeah.
against JDM and then he comes back down, or even better, JDM sleeps him. He then goes, fuck 170.
He still come back down though. Yeah.
I'll go fight Topuria for the title, similar to how Volk did.
Yeah.
And then Topuria ends him.
Topuria, basically a mini JDM, is gonna end him as well.
Yeah, he ends the Dagestani dynasty. There's none of them left now. Umar's
Like
never beaten Marab, and they're gone. And they're out of our sport, and that's the end of it. Or Makhachev beats them all, and he goes down as like the third greatest of all time.
I think that might happen, actually.
But Topuria is the one to do it. Unfortunately, Charles isn't. As much as I'd love Charles to win that fight and go out on a bang, and he's one of the best, one of my favourite ever. Topuria is the man.
Yeah, Topuria is the guy to do it. I'm really excited about this fight as well. Because, not because of the fight, because of what happens next, like you said. And in a perfect world, yeah, we could have sort of the Conor Khabib 2, which is like, would be like Topuria versus Makhachev. Yeah. Sort of like,
but we get the right result this time. Yeah,
the right result.
He's a star. Do you know what? Topuria's a star, man. Like, you just look at him, like his aura, he's how much he finishes people. Like, he's not just winning, he's controlling the fights. Like, he's just somewhat. He's you know when there's a fighter that comes along every now and then. It's just something so special about him.
Yeah, and they're so confident, and it's like. It's not like a fake confidence. He really believes everything he says, everything he does. Yeah, it's kind of like Conor on a come up.
But he can take the fight anywhere. I know he's got some tattoos to Conor and his look and just everything about him. But there's so much special about Topuria for me.
Yeah,
and there's so much special about JDM, you know, but I haven't seen it. Like he I don't know. JDM looks so good in that fight.
JDM is just more an introverted fighter, but he's got skill. I feel like he's got the similar skills.
You know who he reminds me of? Early day Volk, when Volk wouldn't speak, but he was good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's a world in 2 years' time, in a year's time, we're gonna have no Russian champions. Ankalaev might get beat in that rematch against Pereira. Chimaev, and this is the next fight we're gonna go over, has just been announced. He's against DDP.
The only Russian I like is Pyotr Yan, man. He can stay. Pyotr Yan he's not like a Dagestani though. He's not from the mountains. He's a mainland Russian. Yeah, he's a city boy. Yeah.
He's a purebred.
He's a
not inbred like the rest of them. Yeah, Pyotr Yan's cool, man. We don't mind him.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next fight that's been announced is DDP Chimaev.
Yeah.
And everything in my every brain in my what's the saying?
Every brain cell.
Every brain cell I have.
Yeah.
Tells me Chimaev's gonna kill the fucker. But
I don't know about that. I don't know
this is DDP, and the guy wins. Like
Mr. Cardio Kickboxing, yeah, he's gonna get it done, man. I'm telling you.
You think DDP's gonna win?
Yeah, I think so.
He's got that dog in him, and I don't think Chimaev has it. Like, because we've seen these 3 rounders where he's folded, and he snapped Whittaker's jaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that fight pissed me off because I want to see Chimaev have adversity against like a Whittaker.
Mhm.
And we haven't seen that yet. Like against Usman, he sort of shit it. Against Burns, he shit it and he was losing. That goes 4 or 5 rounds, he loses.
Yeah.
I think DDP could take him there. But
he could.
It's if buts and maybes, and this guy's smoking everyone. And DDP's massive as well.
Yeah.
I'd love DDP to win. I just don't see it.
I just don't see DDP getting finished. That's what I don't see. Yeah, like the way that Whittaker got finished, I don't see DDP getting finished in that same way.
Can you not see him throwing like one of them stupid overhands
and then not landing,
and then he's give his back to Chimaev.
Yeah.
Chimaev shoots a double.
Shit, yeah, you're right. That could happen.
Because if you look against Izzy, how many times he's off balance and he's facing away from Izzy?
But don't you think he would fight differently than against someone like Chimaev, who he knows has a takedown threat and has got a submission threat as well? But against Adesanya, he knows he's mainly a striker, and if he overswings, it's not an issue. If Adesanya takes his back, he doesn't care, right? Because Adesanya doesn't have submission skills. Do you think he game plans? I think he game plans for every fight as well.
I don't think he game plans at all. I think he just fights, but I think he does change his fights for who he's fighting.
Yeah,
but I don't think he game plans. I don't think he's clever enough.
It isn't game plan, but he he knows who he's fighting. Oh, he's fighting a grappler. He's not gonna throw overhand rights and risk getting taken aback by somebody's opponent.
It's so strange. It's so strange. Nothing makes sense. I just can't not pick Chimaev, and I think I will pick against DDP in every single fight.
Yeah,
because
he
just wins, man.
Yeah,
nothing's pretty, but it doesn't need to be pretty. Like we all judge him for how bad his striking looks, for how bad everything looks. But if it wins and it's effective, then who are we to judge? And that's why we had him. You had him as one of the most underrated fighters in the division, and I really underrate him as well. But to me, Chimaev is just.
And this just shows it, like what you just said. That literally shows it, because you said that Chimaev's gonna smash him. That's what I mean. That's why DDP gets seen as someone that's underrated, because
DDP's just got a dog in him, man.
He's got that dog in him, and his training is very sort of like secretive as well. I mean, all we know is that he gets tasered in the balls by his coach, but other than that, we don't really know much. We don't know how he trains and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love Chimaev to get fraud checked.
Yeah.
Because he is a bit of a fraud to me. He fights like what? He went from fighting 3 times in like 4 months, it was, weren't it? Yeah. And then he was fighting once a year. I know he almost died a few times, yeah. But he's lucky Burns weren't a 5-rounder. He's lucky Usman weren't a 5-rounder. He's lucky Whittaker broke his jaw.
And he finished him early.
So I'm being a bit of a hypocrite.
I think another reason I think DDP wins, this is a big one actually. I think, I don't know if it's because of COVID or because he was ill for so long. His cardio has really gone backwards. Chimaev's cardio.
Yeah, DDP had that op as well in his nose, so he can breathe now, can't he?
Yeah.
I think DDP's...
His cardio is really good.
I think his best win was that second Strickland fight as well,
Yeah.
Well, no, him finishing Whittaker. Like, I forget that. He finished Whittaker.
As well, yeah.
Yeah, bro, he beat the fuck out of me. I don't know.
And that was the weirdest punch ever.
And my family... I got family from South Africa, yeah, so...
Oh, sick.
I've got to support him.
Yeah.
But I can't not pick him. Like, if I'm going off what I actually think, I can't pick against Chimaev. Another fight announced was Pantoja Kara France. You like Kara France?
I love Kara France, man. And you like Pantoja, don't you?
Yeah, and like I was looking at they did the rankings for the pound for pound rankings.
Yeah.
And they got Pantoja at 8, mate. JDM's above him. Like the disrespect Pantoja gets, he's lapped the division.
Yeah.
This will be his second time. He's beat Moreno twice. He's beat everyone twice. Like he's actually beat everyone twice nearly, except Figueiredo, who left. And then if he wins this, he's already beat Kara France in the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah. Nah, I think I need to go with my boy, man. I think he.
But this is a different Kara France. Like, who did he just come off the knockout winning?
Was it Urseg? Yeah.
Yeah, he knocked the fuck out of Urseg, but then
he dropped him and then he knocked him out against the fence, didn't he?
But then look what Moreno just did to Urseg, and look what everyone's doing to Urseg. Like I said, the list today is our top 5 super fights that never happened. Obviously, with the disappointment that we're not getting Makhachev. Topuria.
Not yet.
Do you want to go through your top 5 first?
Number 5, GSP versus Anderson Silva, Prime versus Prime, when they were both champions at the same time. A fight I always wanted to see, especially when they were both so dominant in their weight classes.
That's so low for me. That's that's before my time and before I watched MMA. But obviously looking back and listening to it and everyone talking about it, like, to me, that is so low on your list.
Yeah, I've got some other good ones.
Okay,
so I think,
we'll see. Go on.
Yeah. Number 4, Jones versus Silva, also Prime versus Prime. I mean, this fight was talked about many times, and it never happened, obviously. But I feel like it would have been one of those matchups that would have probably the pay-per-views would have gone through the roof.
Yeah.
The reason, I just want to...
I nearly had that on my list. I'll tell you why I didn't in a second.
But the reason I had this as well is because this was a young Jones as well. So this would be mainly a striking matchup. You know what I mean? So that would have been nice to see, exciting to see. Number 3, Khabib versus GSP. Yes, because Khabib actually mentioned many times that if there was one guy who would love to fight, it was GSP, and he's got great respect for GSP as well.
But was that ever happening though?
Yeah, there was sort of that timeline where
Khabib fought at 155.
Yeah. So they would do it at welterweight, and they actually spoken about it, and it kind of nearly happened, but then Dana sort of was like, nope, not happening. But that's something I wanted to see as well.
Yeah.
That would have been such an interesting fight.
But
that would intrigue me a lot, that fight.
Like he went and won the title at 185 against Bisping.
Yeah.
Like, was he ever really going to fight Khabib?
One of the greatest grapplers from Dagestan against one of the goats of the sport.
Yeah, no, I get the appeal, but
yeah, at welterweight, and Khabib was a big lightweight, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, number 2. This is a personal one. I feel like not everyone might agree. Pereira versus Aspinall. It was talked about very briefly. It's something I just want to see. Do I think someone's going to be a clear winner? Yes, I think Aspinall would actually knock him out cold, probably.
Yeah.
But it's still something I want to see.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't mind
It's
that.
just like sort of your a fantasy matchup.
I can't argue against that.
And then the last one, this is actually a bummer that it never happened. John Jones versus Francis Ngannou. At the time when Ngannou was champion, I feel like
Jones was coming up.
He was coming up, and I just want to see how they would match up against each other, how the fight would go, and it's one of those that never happened, and probably never will happen, obviously, because Ngannou's in the PFL, and he's about 40 years old now as well.
I can't argue the list. I can argue with the order. I don't know about the order.
Yeah, fair enough.
But you've sort of hit a lot of them on the head.
Yeah.
My list, you know, it's made me realise the people who ruin these fights are the fuckers I don't like.
Always.
So Khabib's on this list a bit,
okay,
and Jones is on this list.
Who's number 5?
So 5 for me, I've got Khabib Oliveira. Oliveira won the title, obviously the person after Khabib, when Khabib retired. But there was that argument before the Makhachev fight where Charles was smoking everyone, and I think Oliveira really matches up well against Charles.
Yeah.
So that's like a fight that it was never going to happen because Khabib retired, but we was all talking about. I remember before the Makhachev fight, people saying, if he beats Makhachev, he could call Khabib out.
And I predicted Makhachev was going to win that fight, and everyone called me crazy. I remember that.
So that Oliveira was special.
Yeah.
At 4, I've got DC versus Lesnar.
Oh shit! Yeah,
so DC,
good one.
Yeah, DC got in the ring.
I like that. Yeah. They shoved him in it.
Yeah, called Lesnar out after Lesnar beat Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
And I love DC. DC is one of my favourite fighters of all time. And that was just a cool fight. That would have been so sick for.
Yeah.
And I think the UFC would have done it if Lesnar really wanted to come back. They would have given him the title shot.
Yeah, for sure.
At 3, I've got Khabib versus Tony. Probably the most known fight's never happened. Scheduled 5 times.
5 times, man. Yeah.
Looking back now, we know the result would have been Khabib.
Yeah.
But that Tony at the time, he was a killer. No.
Yeah.
That's the thing everyone wanted to see.
Exactly.
And it just ended badly.
Can't disagree on that.
At 2, I've got Jones and Ngannou.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so
there you go.
We agree.
Yeah,
there's no reason that fight shouldn't have happened.
It's so intriguing.
The UFC, the UFC should have paid Ngannou what he was worth.
Yeah.
After he beat Garn, and that fight, I didn't need to see Stipe Jones. I needed to see Ngannou.
Exactly.
And if Jones would have beat him, I'd be going, fucking hell, man.
No one cared about that Stipe fight, to be honest with you.
And even on Ngannou now, after the Jones-Aspinall fight, the only fight I want to see is Ngannou-Aspinall. And that's the only fight I think that's going to be a hard matchup for Tom.
Yeah, physically.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So just losing Ngannou's lost so many matchups.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, and the most known one, is Silver GSP.
Nice, you got it on there as well.
Yeah, it's before my time in the sport, but I remember I saw the back end of Anderson Silva, and the only fight as a fan I watched of GSP, like live, was against Bisping. But like looking back for that fight to never happen, I think if that was around nowadays, we would get it like we have been doing.
Yeah.
So it's a really what if fight, and I think it's a really close fight as well. Like for me anyway.
I think Prime Silva would have beaten GSP.
I think Prime Silva would have beat GSP. I don't know if that's my striking bias.
No, I think his style is so elusive and so creative and unpredictable that against a good wrestler and a decent striker, but because GSP's strength was sort of his fight IQ, putting it all together.
Yeah.
But against someone like Silva, who's so unpredictable.
Before that Weidman fight.
Yeah, exactly.
To this day, we've never seen anything like it.
His head movement, everything was just out of this world. You've never seen anything like it before. How do you prepare for a guy like that? You know what I mean?
But you know what though? And now thinking about it, Jones and Ngannou out of them all is the one I'd want to see more than any.
Let's see. I think same.
Well, it's your number one and it's my number two. But
it's yeah.
Even now, I'd love to see it now.
I'd still watch it now because they're actually at the same age. They're sort of. I mean, Jones is a bit younger, but I would still watch it now.
Yeah, I think Tom runs through them both. Unfortunately, I think Tom even runs through Ngannou.
Tom definitely beats Ngannou. I don't know about Jones, but yeah.
But maybe even I think John Jones and Tom Aspinall might end up on this list. That'll be a very big one.
Yeah.
Ones I almost had on would have been Pantoja, DJ.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to see that.
Number 6 maybe. Yeah.
Is there any you left off that you thought? There's a few Fedor ones. It's just a bit before my time.
Yeah. I mean, the one you said, I'll probably put him in like 6. Yeah. Pantoja.
At the time as well, I really wanted to see McGregor Dos Anjos.
Yeah, but I think we would have known how that would have went.
Looking back, I think McGregor smokes him.
Yeah.
But that fight was meant to happen and Chad Mendes stepped up.
Yeah. There was a time when...
No, he didn't. No, Chad Mendes stepped up for the Aldo fight.
It was a different fight. No. Was it Aldo? No, it was Dos Anjos. It was Dos Anjos, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. But there was a time when Conor was saying he would go up to welterweight
and fight Woodley.
Yeah, that's one I would have wanted to see.
I'd like to see that.
Prime Conor against Prime Woodley.
I think Woodley Prime is so slept on. He was so good.
The guy's like it's the block of muscle, wasn't it? But yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to rally off your top 5 again? Just a quick recap.
Yeah. So number 1, Jones Ngannou. Number 2, Pereira Aspinall. Number 3, Khabib GSP. Number 4, Jones Silva, and then number 5, GSP Silva.
Yeah, my top 5. Khabib Oliveira, DC Lesnar. I really like that fight. Khabib Tony, John Jones, Ngannou, and Silva GSP.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the full podcast though. This is the full. I know we've done a few videos and that, but this is the full one that's going to go out. That it'll be, I think, properly edited with the backdrop. So this is the how we sort of want the format to be.
Yeah.
Recaps, predictions, just discussing the general news and the topics, and then getting on with our top 5s, top 10s. So we'll call this episode 1, even though it isn't, but this is the first proper way, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we've got it down to a T now.
Yeah, and I'll have sections as well, so that you know what you're watching, and for example, you can skip parts, stuff that's already happened, like the fight night.
And there should be separate uploads as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Let us know whose top 5 was the best.
And make sure you drop your comments. It really helps the channel as well.
Yeah, share it, share the clips, follow us on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, and yeah, see you in the next one.